Hello everyone, I'm Renowned Zero, and today we're going to be talking about Mindy Kaling claiming Velma is an icon for young alphabet women in promotion of HBO Max's Velma series. We're jumping in this article from Bounding into Comics. Here, Mindy Kaling claims Velma is an icon for young gay women in promotion of HBO Max's Velma series. The HBO Max Velma series does not stick to the precedent of the source material when adapting Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is cut and dry at this point. However, the animated show's star Mindy Kaling and her producers believe they are honoring the old Hanna-Barbera cartoon through the sundry changes they made to everything, to which viewers are saying, in a word, jinkies, they're not. The old Hanna-Barbera cartoon is legendary, and this will be forgotten in about 2 years. This garbage show. At a press session at New York Comic Con via Popverse, Kaling first explained the show is supposed to be scary and is aimed at adults. This is a scary show with harmful things happening, she said. I think we've been inspired with a lot more scary teen shows of late, which is why the show is for adults. Yeah, I guess so. She also indicated the show was inspired by Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is better than this garbage, especially when it came to modernizing and race swapping, of course. She stated, why not make the character Indian? We've been so inspired by Into the Spider-Verse and seeing these other characters that can embody the spirit of these iconic franchises. By the way, Miles Morales is Miles Morales and Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And of course they race swapped Spider-Woman and made her pregnant for some reason. Why don't we try that? We love Scooby-Doo so much, and we're going to honor it. No, you don't love Scooby-Doo. If you love Scooby-Doo, you'd have Scooby-Doo in this show. You would have stuck to the source material, and you would have honored the Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Instead, you made some bullshit-ass self-insert for yourself to make yourself feel better about your shitty career and you hitting the wall. Kaylin went on to reveal why she decided to make Velma Indian. I love this opportunity. I have now to be able to have representation of modern Indian American teen. Diversity for diversity's sake, now diversity of thought. She continued, there is not a lot of representation of Indian Americans in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s animation. Who cares? Don't need representation to make good characters. Velma was a good character when she was white, because she was the brains of the entire Scooby-Doo mystery machine and the Scooby-Doo gang. I felt like, man, I really identify with this character. No, you don't. I love that she exists. Yeah, because it's you. It's a self-insert of you. She's not traditionally gorgeous or anything. She never was. She just helps the game because she's so smart. Yeah, no shit. Everybody knew that. Velma showrunner Charlie Grandy confirmed the show was also aimed at adults, revealing at New York Comic Con, quote, we always wanted to do it as adult animation. And for me, I loved Scooby-Doo as a kid, but it also scared me. I was scared very easily, but I was interested in kind of taking the comedy and the humor of the original and sort of adapting it for older audiences. There's no comedy. This show is trash. Basically, Fred, the white dude, is the butt of every joke, which is what most modern Hollywood garbage has become. Kaling further testified on the choice to make it an animated adult show. We've loved what people have done with their own versions of it. We felt this was a really interesting and one way to make a different choice, and it felt worth doing because they hadn't been done before. And yet you did not stick to source material. You decided to race swap 3 different characters, keep Freddy the dumbass, make Freddy the white dumb male, and he's the butt of every joke. Specifically addressing all the race swapping done in the show, Grandy said the whiteness of the characters didn't feel integral to them, except Fred. It actually did. That's why it's still a legendary show to this day. I'm sorry you don't give a shit about lore or canon or honoring the original source material, because that's what people in Hollywood love to do. You love to give the black people the sloppy seconds, or even in this case with Velma, I guess, the Indian people the sloppy seconds, because you only see legitimacy in original white characters rather than having new characters, having this type of show with your original Indian character, your original black characters, knowing damn well your show would not be watched and show would fail. Fred just felt like a very white person. That's not racist at all. Kaling added, Fred had to be white. He's the whitest character in the history of television. Again, that's racist. Grandy appeared to also indicate the race swapping, specifically Velma, was done to self-insert Kaling as a character. We already knew this. As reported by UPI, Grandy stated, when Mindy came to me and said she wanted to do it, it's because she connected to her because she was this girl who was the smart one who does all the work and doesn't get nearly enough credit. You could have just kept her white and just did the voice. It's not hard. People have been doing the voice for years. However, he would then claim they didn't decide to race swap the character until later on in the production. It wasn't until we got much further down the road where it looked like this show might happen that we really want to talk about how the character should look and should they be South Asian. At the time, we were like, why wouldn't they be in this day and age? Because, again, you're taking an established IP where the character has always been white, and you're race swapping it just to self-insert yourself, so you really don't have any love for this IP. You just love the idea of being able to use the IP for your identity politics. Bullshit. Kaling also indicated the reason they're describing the show as aimed at adults is due to the situation they put the teenage characters in. It's really just the situations that they're in because it's geared towards adults. We can be more like teens who are 15, 16, or 17. What are those sorts of urges which you couldn't have in the show that was for younger kids? To that end, Kaling claimed that Velma is an icon for gay women. She's never been gay. Velma's never been gay, so this is how just another example of how I know you do not respect or love this character or this IP. Velma's self-discovery is a really big part of this series. We don't want to ignore that she's an icon for young gay women. She's never been that, maybe in this show, and I think that's really interesting. Her figuring out is a big part of the show and why it's really fun to do. We have tweets here. Velma and Daphne are lesbians in Velma the series. Of course they are, otherwise it's phobic. Because of, once again, you don't give a shit about this IP. Kaling went on to indicate she's received significant support from Warner Bros. To push this on Velma. Not everyone would necessarily feel comfortable doing this, and we feel so lucky that Warner Bros. Animation was open to this. It's because you have modern woke leftists in the company who are for this kind of garbage. Finally, Grandy revealed one of the goals of the show is to provide origins to a number of iconic phrases and even the names of the characters. He said, the fun of the show has really been taking the iconic pieces, either the sayings or the sweater, and trying to give origins to all of those, imbue them with meaning. He explained, quote, why does Velma say jinkies? That's a big thing that we wanted to lean into. It was just a saying that people liked. You don't have to explain. Not everything has to be explained with an origin. This wasn't one of those things that needed to be explained with an origin. Same with other characters. We call him Norville in our series because you're dumb. Well, when does he become Shaggy? That's one of the real appealing things to do in this project. Nobody cares. Everyone knows him as Shaggy. No one knows him by his government name. No one cares. No real lover of this series actually gives a fuck about why he's called Norville, why his name is Norville, and how he becomes quote-unquote Shaggy. No one cares. People know him as Shaggy. While Kaling and Grandy believe they could take Velma in their own direction, the problem is they aren't connecting with a wide audience as everyone appears to be checking out the first episode because you're appealing to people who love Scooby-Doo. You're trying to appeal to people who love Scooby-Doo. You're not appealing to anyone besides those people. When they see that their beloved IP has been butchered the way you've butchered this IP, they of course check out. The poor writing and unfunny humor encompass a major complaint. As one Twitter user put it with context, quote, I'm halfway through the second episode of Velma and I'm honestly not able to push on. This writing is so exhaustingly meta, egregious, and offensive to its target audience that I'm unsure how it was even greenlit in the first place. Even those passionate critics of content like Velma are giving up on it because they can't power through a single episode. One foremost among those at the roast on YouTube is creator Hero vs. Babyface, follow him if you don't, who after a few minutes of the season premiere was able to write the whole endeavor off as more woke Hollywood garbage. Because it absolutely is. It's the same old bull crap that they've always pulled for every single established IP that they use and modernize. They take the IP that's beloved by loads of people, they race swap, they remove any character, any personality from the characters of who they were originally, and they insert themselves and change who the character is to fit their bullshit identity politics narrative, which is what they did with Velma, which is what they did with Fred, they did it with Daphne, and they did it with Shaggy. So at the end of the day, people are checking out of this garbage more often than not because all you're doing is taking an established IP because you know nobody will watch it, and you're fitting it to your own worldview, and nobody cares. The original fans don't care. There's new people that don't care. You want to claim it's the #1 show on HBO Max is because probably most people just hate watching this garbage to make money off your bitch ass, essentially monetizing your haters. Because you people do not like the fans. You don't love the fans. You hate the fans. So you decide you want to take this IP and butcher it and tell everyone to go fuck yourselves at the end of it all. And then you're surprised why no one wants to watch your fucking garbage show. That's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you all for checking out this video. I appreciate all the new subscribers and returning subscribers, returning viewers and new viewers. If you liked the video, hit that like button. If you comment below what you feel about all this, subscribe for more content, hit the bell for notifications, and set it to all that way you get notifications every time I post a new video. And I will see you all on the next one. Peace.